So I'm gonna show you how you can make the rear tail lights to light up when you hit the brakes. So if we demonstrate it, hit play. When I hit the brakes, these light up, which is kind of a cool effect. See, right there. Now, because it's the daylight, it's not very visible, and you can of course add the actual physical lights to it. But this is just for demonstration. So the simplest way to do that, to achieve that, is by going to your model right here, whatever the software may be. I'm using Cinema, and if you go to the tail lights, let's disable the glass real quickly. You have to make these tail lights, rear brake lights in this case we're calling it, you have to make them a separate object. So if we create a luminant object that emits light and apply that to it, we can see that it looks like a brake light. Now if we turn it off, it's gone. So of course this other part is just gonna be a non-lit object. So let's just do this, for example. And now this is not lit. And if we hit the brakes, this lights up, which is what you want when you want to achieve braking lights. So if we turn it off and on, this gives us the illusion, or whatever you may call it, of braking. So if you don't have separate objects for this thing, it's very simple to create them. Just go to the polygon, or whatever your application may call it, and select the polygons that have to be lit. Just the polygons that have to be lit. Select them, and this side too, and just hit split. Now in order for this to work, we have the new object right here. So let's now apply the luminant object. This will interfere with the other, yeah, if you can see, it interferes with the other mesh that's right there, but with the one we created. So a easy workaround for that is just to push it very slightly. Yeah, you see, it interferes with that. So if you push it very slightly outside, now it's on top of the other mesh. It's very slightly, but it's on top of it. So now it won't interfere with the other one. And now we can simply turn it off and on whenever we want. And of course we can do the same with the front lights. Let's create a white luminant object, and let's just apply it. Right here. So if you can see, this is already interfering with some other mesh. So if we push it very slightly outside, it obviously makes a gap. But if we try to make the gap very small, it won't change the look. So there is your luminant lights. Now in some cases this particular car might light this bulb up, but this bulb, I think, is already split. Yeah, it's already done, and there is nothing inside it. So we can't just put a luminant object inside it and then just turn it off and on. We have to make a copy of it, and again push it very slightly outside. Now the other one, we can just delete the object, and now if we turn this off and on, it will make the illusion of the lights turning on. Now if we save this object as a FBX or whatever you may want to save it, and go back to Unity, what you want to do is into the car manager. I have it set as a car manager, and I have set it as a game object. This lights turned on as a game object, and I've selected that very one that we've made, which is located into the lights, into the rear, this brake lights. So just drag this and drop it in here. And what I've done in here, lights turned on, yeah. What I've done in here is I've created two separate public void functions. So these are public, and these can be called from another script. And what they basically do is just set the activate to true or false. So by that, if we go to our other scene, don't save anything. Okay, here is our model. I'm gonna save everything that I've made and hop back to main. Just because we have the textures in the model. Okay, here they have updated. Now if we make a camera that looks a little bit more pretty, a little more vibrant, if you want to call it, and let's make the shades or the shadows just a little bit sharper, maybe 70. Let's unpack this and bring it right here. And I think this is a little bit too high. So if we bring it a little bit down here, and if we hit play, okay, perfect. Okay, here is our car, and now if we hit the brakes, the lights will obviously light up, which gives a cool effect if you want to make a realistic video game. And also, if you want this braking or the drifting mechanism, I suggest you watch my other video where I explain it, how I made it. Which does require a little bit more tweaking, but for now it works kind of perfect. Although this car loses traction a lot, because I've given it way too much power. So in the animation curve, yeah, it has 1000 horses or horsepower. Let's bring that down to like 700, which is about the same horsepower as the this Lamborghini has, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And now we hit play and decrease our handbrake friction to like 3.2. Yeah, now it's more controllable.